Well, here's a look at camp. This wasn't probably the most scenic camp we've ever gotten, like I mentioned yesterday, but overall, it's worked out pretty good. And the good thing is we were looking at maps last night, because part of the route we were going to do was where I was running into those trees yesterday and we were blocked. But there are a ton, you can't really see the mountain back behind these trees, but there are a ton of roads all throughout here that honestly we've never been on, even though I've been in this area a bunch. Scofield Reservoir is just over that mountain, and I've done a bunch of stuff in there, and over this mountain down in here is like Helper and stuff, and I've done stuff over there, but tons of these roads in here we've never touched, so I'm looking forward to checking them out today. We're just putting together some breakfast right now. Explorers, it's Saturday morning. We're packed up all of our camp and things like that. We're ready to hit the trail. We're going to be doing a bunch of exploring today, basically like in the Scofield area. There's mountains on each side of Scofield Reservoir, and we're going to mostly be, I don't know, I guess you would call this like the south, kind of the southeast side of it. And we're just going to be going down as many mountain dirt roads as we can find. There's a ton on the map that we've never done or seen before, so looking forward to hitting those. So let's hit the trail. Alright, so we ran into another gate, and this has to be the dumbest position for a gate I've ever seen. It is midway up, or down, whichever direction you're going. We're going down, but it's midway in the trail. There's not a sign saying that it's closed, and why they wouldn't put it at the top or the bottom makes no sense to me. If you had a trailer of any kind, and a lot of people come in this area with camper trailers, you'd be screwed if you were right here. We're gonna have to do like a 15-point turn just to get turned around, and we're not pulling a trailer or anything. I cannot fathom why anyone would put the gate right here. Just makes no sense. Have you back up to the side on your left, and I think I can get by you. More cow friends. Looks like they got some type of a watering hole right here, and it looks like this runs us into somebody's ranch. So far, 30 minutes in, we're on a roll. We think we maybe missed a turn, according to our maps, but we didn't see the road, so. I truly do think where that ranch is right there, from everything looking at the map, that should be a county road, even though they say end county maintenance. We even debated giving the rangers a call and seeing it. Every once in a while this happens here in Utah. Alright, I'm going to stop myself there. I basically went on for a while complaining about how ranchers on occasion have a bad reputation for putting up rogue signs or telling campers and others that they're not allowed in certain areas because they do not like the shared recreation access. However, after going on this trip, I jumped on a call with the Price BLM field office to find out if that road actually was private or public land. Sure enough, from that ranch sign on all the way over to Scofield is pretty much private land. While it is a bummer that this is private land in such a beautiful remote area, I respect the right to own it. So we've just been running into roadblock after roadblock of locked fences and gates and private property signs. So we decided to actually just bypass a section of the trail, and then we're going to try to backtrack into it and actually figure out where the private property stops and ends. We're both really certain that that road where that ranch was should be public land and a public road, but we tried to call in the field office. They didn't answer. It's a Saturday, so no one's probably in. And anyway, so we're actually on the Energy Loop Scenic Byway, which is really pretty, off of Highway 6 that heads in towards Scofield Reservoir. There was a lot of coal mining and stuff that happened here in the past. Still some going on, but mostly in the past. And it's just really, really pretty in this area. Absolutely loving it. So we're just gonna be on the pavement for about 10 miles, and then we're hitting an area that there's a bunch of roads we've never been on, but it's an area we've done a lot of exploring in, so we feel pretty confident that we're not going to be running into these blocked roads anymore. Should be good. Coming up on Scofield Reservoir here, you can see down below us, kind of in the horizon. And then you can see up here on the hill, there's a lot of cabins and stuff all around Scofield. The amount of cabins has actually gone up a ton over the last few years, but real pretty area, surrounded by mountains and nice, just beautiful lake. Well, this is not a little bad spot to stop for lunch. We're just right backed up here next to the river, a little inlet, and make a little bit of lunch and then start going on some dirt roads that we know are not going to have a bunch of gates. This has been, the title of this should be keep out. That's how many stupid signs we've ran into today. Admittedly, we're probably a little bit oversensitive to it, because for the most part in Utah, when you get into the mountains, it's pretty much public land. So I think we're mostly just a little bit frustrated that we've ran into so much private land where we thought there should be public. And maybe the reason that we haven't explored here as much as, you know, because we've been in a lot of places around here. We saw all these roads we've never been on, and now I'm wondering if the reason we've never been on any of them is because they're all private or right next to private land. So a little bit frustrating. Now watch, it's only gonna be like 3 feet deep and we're gonna break a leg. Woo! Way deeper than 3 feet.
Did you touch bottom?
Touch, and it is freezing cold. I thought it might be a little warmer than strawberry. It's not. So I've kind of got this rule where if it's any amount warm and you're by water, you got to jump in. And that was awesome. I was a little worried that it was going to be shallow, so I actually wore my shoes. I could tell just by looking in and waded out a little bit that it wasn't going to be super shallow, but just by looking down you could tell it was a little bit deep. But jumping in, I didn't even touch. So anyways, going to dry off and then we'll start heading out on some dirt roads. But I don't know, I think it's a good philosophy in life. I'm never going to look back and think, man, I really jumped into too many mountain lakes. Oh yeah, look at that view. It's incredible. After leaving Scofield Reservoir, we started climbing the mountains towards Skyline Drive. We had a really nice winter this year, and the mountains were blooming everywhere with beautiful mountain flowers. The trails up to Skyline Drive were new to us, which made it even more fun. I have done several trips in this area, and the more I explore it, the more hidden gems I find. So the road up from Scofield, Bear Ridge Road, was absolutely awesome. And that put us up on Skyline Drive, and we've been on it for about 5-6 miles. And now this road is supposed to take us off of Skyline Drive down into Indianola, which I didn't even know you could do. I always thought you had to go a little bit further south until the road that takes you down into Fairview. So we don't know what this is going to yield, but kind of excited to try it out. This road is narrow. We're definitely getting some nice pinstriping in. I wouldn't want to be trying to do it in a full size. Check out these trees. That's amazing how huge those are. For trees to get that big in Utah, they gotta be pretty dang old. This trail, Browns Peak Road, ended up being my favorite part of the trip. Now that I know about it, I'll start using it as my access point for Skyline Drive in future trips. So just wrapped up this trip, despite the fact that we spent pretty much 2 hours of the morning just running into dead ends and closed roads with no trespassing signs. We actually spent a really good portion of the afternoon on trails that we didn't map at all for this trip, but were absolutely awesome. So it was a really fun trip. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. As I said before, it'd be a huge help right now if you guys would like and share and comment. And if you have any friends who are into off-roading, overlanding, camping, things like that, please let them know about our channel. We're trying to grow it as much as possible right now, and we could really use your help. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to follow us on the day-to-day stuff, you can check us out on Instagram at Backroad Exploration.